Scotland's first low-emission zone has officially been welcomed to Glasgow. The regulation has set strict standards for vehicles in the city centre, where 20% of buses will now have to meet the latest European standards.
So the low-emission zone came into effect on the 31st of December. It requires 20% of all journeys entering the city footprint to be low-emission standard. To meet that requirement, first have introduced 150 new vehicles which are low emission standard at a cost of £30 million.
First Bus launched 75 new eco-friendly buses into the city centre in October 2018 in compliance with the new low-emission zone regulations. The local bus company have promised to invest £100 million over the next 5 years in order to meet the new rules on air pollution.
It's a big thing that the council, between the council and they've spoke to the bus companies, and I think it's basically a good thing because the fact is the amount of emissions vehicles going through the city centre doesn't really make the air really good to breathe in, you know what I mean? So it's a step in the right direction. The amount of vehicles passing through the city centre, you're breathing in all that sort of diesel fumes and different things, you know, so to me, it's good for Glasgow to actually start cleaning up the air. And what I like about it is, like say, first they've got on board with it and they've invested a lot of money in new vehicles to cut it out, you know what I mean, that's a good thing.
Whilst local bus companies have begun to comply with the new standards, First Bus remind us just how important it is to take the bus.
Obviously we're only concerned about Glasgow. What I do think is introducing a low emission zone to Glasgow is a good thing. You know, it's a good thing for the city, it's a good thing for the citizens. Anything being done to ensure a clean air environment is obviously very positive, and we want to play our part. I think it's important to point out though that buses aren't the problem, they are the solution. You know, buses give the city a great opportunity to achieve modal shift, thus reducing cars on the road, reducing congestion and reducing emissions further.
The new buses, launched by First Bus, emit 261 grams less of CO2 emissions than the previous herds. This equates to 20.89 tonnes less of CO2 emissions per bus every year based on an 80,000 kilometre operation.
There's nothing worse if you get into Glasgow city centre and you're maybe standing at a corner waiting for a taxi or waiting on a bus and all these vehicles and buses and everything else passing you by, and the emissions that they're putting out into the air, and you're standing there breathing all this in. So it can be a problem for people, especially the elderly people, you know what I mean? So it's a good thing that First have got on board with us and invested a lot of money in these buses.
First Bus have been working in partnership with Glasgow City Council to make Glasgow a greener city. The bus company plans to continue to be the forefront of discussions to deliver Phase 1 of the standards. In return, the company asks for the continued support.
So I think in return for the investment, there's probably two key asks. One, that we are supported by the local authority in terms of bus priority to help speed up journeys. If we can speed bus journeys up and achieve quicker journey speeds, we will really accelerate modal shift, thus reducing congestion, reducing emissions from other vehicles. And secondly, in terms of the low emission zone, the 20% compliance target from the 31st of December has obviously been achieved. The 40% target and beyond, you know, following significant investment, we're really looking for the support from the Scottish Government to be clarified in terms of retrofitting existing vehicles to increase the compliance. Otherwise the LEZ could potentially be destabilised.
Phase 2, which will apply to all vehicles entering the low emission zone, is to be implemented in December 2022. Ruth Suter, That's TV.